happy Hanukkah. Welcome to another episode of Bagels and Baklava. I'm Lindsay / The Bagel, and today I'm going to be demonstrating how to make hatch green chili and potato latkes. We'll be serving them with some sour cream and really delicious red pepper jelly. So we will turn the camera around and take a peek at the mise en place, or what you will need to work with for this recipe. Okay, so first things first, I've got 2 saute pans. The one in the back, the black one, is larger, and I've already got it filled with oil. It's about, I'd say about 1/4 of the way up filled with vegetable oil, and that's what we will be frying our latkes in. And then here I've got a smaller red saute pan, and that is what I will be using to cook the 2 onion varieties and green chilies. The rest of my items are a very thin tea towel to wring out the water from the potatoes, a colander for the potatoes, a large mixing bowl. I've got a box grater and a plate, and a cookie sheet that I have lined with some paper towels to sop up the grease from when we make our latkes. I've got a metal spatula, a 1/4 cup measuring cup, which I will use to scoop out the mix to put into the hot oil. I've got salt and pepper to taste, and some good old Crisco canola oil. Okay guys, let's get this party started. Don't mind the hat. I'm awaiting my Madison Reed hair color order, so I didn't want you to see what is under the cap, so I put this cute little thing on. All right, so today we are making hatch green chili and potato latkes. So what are latkes? They're basically fried potato cakes that we eat for Hanukkah. So to get my recipe started, I'm going to turn the heat to medium on the stove. All right, there we go. And I'm going to throw in a tablespoon of salted butter. Okay. And we'll just let that melt a little bit. Okay. And then here in my cups, I've got green chilies, and I've got chopped Vidalia onions, which are sweet and delicious, and then some sliced green salad onions. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to put the onions in the red saute pan. And what I like to do is sprinkle them with salt and pepper just to get some flavors going. And the salt also helps to sweat the onions. So it gives it a little bit of liquid, and it just makes it really delicious and a lot easier to stir, which is key. And you can season however much or little you like. I've got this cool red pepper mill right here. It's got an awesome handle. I love pepper, so I tend to have a heavy hand, but you do you. And then I'm going to put just a few little dashes of salt. And we will start sauteing. We'll give this about 3 minutes or so, just to kind of get these guys saturated and to get, break down some of that oniony crunch. I'm back. It's been about 3 minutes with the onions sauteing. And now I'm going to add the green chilies. And we will set a timer for 5 minutes and just keep sauteing them. You just want everything to kind of blend together and soften and just turn into a really nice, like velvety, buttery kind of texture. And I'll give you a look at what's going on right now. Okay, guys, I lied. I'm back a little bit before 5 minutes, but it just smells so good. I wish I could capture this in like a perfume bottle. So enjoy the whiffs while you guys are sauteing. It's pretty amazing. All right, guys, it's been 5 minutes of sauteing my onions and green chilies. So now I am going to scoop everything out, and we're just gonna put it in a little bowl that we will set aside. All right. Okay. All right, now we will move on to grating the potatoes. Okay, so for this next segment of grating the potatoes, we need a colander and a bowl filled with water. You will see that I already have some grated potatoes in there. And I know that the color is super funky, but water, keeping potatoes, raw potatoes submerged in water, actually keeps them white, and they will not be this like gross brownish like irrigation water color. And we will need a box grater, a plate, and your potatoes. So we will get started. We're back. Let's start grating the potatoes. You are going to want to use the large grates on your box grater, and it goes pretty quickly. So I prefer cutting the potato in half to work with it, so I'm not holding like some huge thing and it's slipping out of my hands and stuff. So I go halfsies. All right, so I'm gonna collect some of these grates and I'm gonna throw them in the bowl that we had with water, just so they stay nice and white and beautiful. All right, and we will continue on. Now, you may notice that the color is a little strange, but I promise that when we let the water run through them in the colander, they'll be perfectly white. So that's what we're gonna do right now. All right, so the key is to drain out this yucky water, and we will rinse the grated potatoes with fresh water, and then we are going to wring them out with a towel. So while the potato grates are sitting in the colander for like 2 seconds, I'm coming back over to the stove and I'm going to turn on the flame to medium. And this is the saute pan that I've got the oil in. So it takes a while for it to heat up. So don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. We'll only be away from it for like a few minutes. So what I've done here is I've laid out this light tea towel, and I am going to literally use my hands and put scoops of potatoes into the middle of the tea towel. So everything is in there, and I'll show you what we do next. All right, we want to get everything till the colander is empty. And we will set that aside. And you're just going to bundle the potatoes in the tea towel, kind of like you're wrapping a little gift. All right. And now we are going to wring the water out. And you won't believe how much water comes out of this. It's crazy. And you want to get it as dry as possible. Okay. So we can set that aside for the time being. You will need your large mixing bowl again, and this is the point where we will add the rest of the ingredients. So we've got flour. I've got a mix of garlic powder, pepper, salt, and baking powder. We'll put those in. We have our 1 beaten egg. Ooh, look at that beautiful color. All right, and our onion chili mixture. Great. And we will squeeze the potatoes one more time just to get any extra water out. Okay, and we're literally just gonna dump the potato grates from the tea towel into the large mixing bowl with everything else. All right, and then we will stir to combine, and I'll see you guys back over at the stove to start frying. So I am back at the stove and I am stirring everything around in the mixing bowl just to get everything combined. And then we will literally drop it like it's hot into the saute pan. You won't believe how good these are, how they smell, how they taste. It's just the best thing. I was actually inspired by a friend of mine who has a burger place in Austin called Jew Boy Burgers, and instead of fries, he serves his burgers, cheeseburgers nonetheless, with green chili flecked potato pancakes. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that's such an awesome idea. And it's like so Southwestern and really rings true to the city that we're from, which is El Paso, Texas. So, and fun fact, Hatch, New Mexico is only an hour away, and that's where they grow all the green chilies. So got to take advantage and, you know, try to incorporate that in as many things as possible. So now that we're back at the stove and we're waiting for the oil to continue to heat up, go ahead and turn the heat to medium heat just to really get things going. And definitely have your metal spatula. And I like to use this 4th cup measuring cup to literally scoop the potatoes out and put them in the oil. I just feel like it's kind of the perfect measurement. And we will go from there. All right, guys, let's get frying. So I'm going to take this scoop out about 1/4 of a cup of pancake, and I'm going to drop it in the oil. Woo! And you can use a spoon to kind of, you know, get it together, pop it down a little bit, just so everything kind of stays in place. All right, and we will go from there. I would say that I can probably fit 4 pancakes at a time, or fry 4 pancakes at a time, I should say. All right, we'll let them go. So here they are frying, and a great question is, well, how do you know when you should flip them over? So the answer is, there's not really any rhyme or reason, except, you know, it's kind of like making normal pancakes. You just kind of pop one of the corners up and see how it's browning, and, you know, if it's turning golden, go for it. Flip it over, and once both sides have been submerged in the oil, you know, you can make them as dark or as golden brown or not, as you want. So I flipped my first pancake over, and I would say it was like 2 minutes, and it's perfectly golden brown. So I'm going to flip the second one, and it's perfectly golden brown. So the key is always preheating your oil early and getting it hot enough so that you're not sitting there over the stove waiting like 10 minutes per side. Like, no one has time for that. All right. So it's very tempting to want to just like smash them down, but don't do it. It's kind of like the burger thing. You just, unless you're into like really thin burgers, which I'm not, And I'm not into thin potato pancakes either. So there. It's been about 3 minutes on the other side, and I think these guys are ready to come out. What do you think? I mean, how sexy does that look? So all I'm doing is moving them over to a cookie sheet lined with paper towels, so the paper towels can drink up all the delicious grease. And I'm going to show you something else. You know, some people would say, oh, that potato pancake's way too big. So from this mix, you can make about 8 large pancakes. You know, but if you're doing like a cocktail party or some hors d'oeuvres, and you want some smaller bites, I would just grab a trusty tablespoon and put them in like that, and they will make cute little bite-sized pancakes. And they're actually perfect for, you know, you could put like a toothpick in them, and they can be like bite-sized things, like, you know, from the from the movie Mermaids. So we'll let those guys go for a while, and then I'll show you the difference in size. Okay guys, this is the second batch, so these are smaller. They probably don't look smaller from where you're looking, but they are. And they make the cutest little cocktail hors d'oeuvres. And then I'm gonna tell you what is best to pair them with adult beverage wise, so stay tuned. Sorry guys, had to do a lipstick check to make sure I don't look like whatever happened to Baby Jane. Remember Betty Davis? All right. So we've got our potato pancakes flecked with green chili and onions. And I want to show you the difference in size. So this is from the first batch I made, and I used a 1/4 cup measuring cup to dump into the grease. And then this is the little cocktail one that I made, which is perfect for, you know, appetizers and fun little parties for when things get back to normal in 2024. So what I like to do with these, because they are, I guess, more Southwestern, I enjoy mine with sour cream, which is the, you know, traditional accompaniment to potato pancakes. Applesauce is as well, but I feel like applesauce, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of baby food, and I think it's gross and the color's weird. So I like to pair mine with jalapeno jelly. And don't be afraid by the word jalapeno, it's actually not spicy at all. It's just a fun color. There's some seeds in it, which is cool. And it's sweet and kind of tangy. It's just different. So I put that on, and then I top it with a dollop of sour cream. And I use my hands because I'm kind of crazy that way. Mmm. These are so good and so different from the traditional potato pancake that most of you have probably had. It's just a nice way to change things up, and you know, everyone's seen like the potato pancake variation with sweet potatoes, but like, aren't you kind of over sweet potatoes by now? Like after Thanksgiving? Like, come on, I can't. So another question I get asked is, what adult beverage would you pair latkes with? The answer, my friends, is champagne. The dryness of the champagne and the effervescence cuts through the fat of the latkes, and it's just an awesome pairing. And it's, you know, it's fun and festive, especially this time of year and for New Year's. So why not kind of do a small little appetizer party or ring in the new year with potato pancakes. Keep the Jewish celebration going all month long. Okay, while I finish these and the rest of my glass of champagne, I will put the recipe out there after I enjoy these, that is. And I hope you guys had fun watching me, and I will see you next time. Happy holidays!